This is a Louie Tee Network exclusive.
Who else could it be but me, your me, Louie Tee? Welcome. You are in the lab room, of course. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Bonus coverage, man. We're in overtime. Draft Prospects 101 series, your guide to some of the biggest and hottest names in NFL draft. We're talking 2016 NFL prospects for the upcoming draft. It'll be here before you know it, only 2 weeks away. And so, because I'm a man of the people, you spoke, I respond. Everyone's asking for safety videos. I've had the content on deck. I just was being lazy and I was being defiant. I said, I'm done doing Draft Prospects 101 series breakdown videos. I'm not doing any more of those. Once I put my mock out, I'm done. Well, you guys said, look, man, we want the safety videos. Where they at? So I'm a man of the people. You ask, you shall receive. And so I'm here talking safeties. I got a bunch of prospects on deck. So we're just gonna run through whatever I got in the Rolodex, whatever I've done in my notebook, whatever players I've taken notes on. I'm gonna just do the videos randomly. I'm just throwing them out there. So we're gonna start at the safety position because that's what you asked for. And I'm here to talk about a group of players that I think are really gonna be impactful in this year's draft. I think the safety position is another one of these positions that's extremely deep, depending on what you're looking for. I think there are enough guys that are, a combination of free safety and strong safety, which means they're interchangeable. I think there are a lot of guys in this draft that are specialists. They do one or the other. They're really good at free safety, not as good in the box, or they're really good in the box, but not that great away from the line of scrimmage. So let's talk about a guy that I feel like is the best of both worlds, gives you that complete package you're looking for. And if you ask me, and this includes Jalen Ramsey, he's the best safety in the draft. Hear me loud, hear me proud. He's the best safety in the 2016 NFL draft. That includes Jalen Ramsey, if you want to consider him a safety as well. I'm talking about West Virginia's Karl Joseph. Let's talk about Karl Joseph and what the 8 card brings to the table. 5'10", 205 pounds of human bowling ball, okay? Human heat-seeking missile, okay? Athletic freak is the first pro we're gonna get to though. Fantastic athlete, all right? This guy is a fantastic athlete, and I'm not sure, I can't confirm nor deny this because I didn't do my homework. I didn't go the extra mile to find out if this is a fact or not. But if I had to guess, just off of the top of my head and seeing what I saw on tape, this guy has some kind of cornerback experience in his background. High school, Pop Warner, something. He played cornerback once upon a time. Don't ask me when, don't ask me how, but just looking at him on tape, he's way too fluid in coverage as an athlete to have not played cornerback at some point because his technique is too good for a guy that has never played corner. So I'm led to believe he's played corner at some point. All right, fantastic athlete. You can see it on tape. He's fast, he flows to the football, he's very explosive, and that's actually the next pro, so let's go there now. Extreme explosiveness is what you get out of Karl Joseph. And to me, it would have been great to have seen him run at the Combine. Would have been great to have gotten a time from him at the West Virginia Pro Day. But at the end of the day, because of the injury, you don't want to push yourself too hard in this process because this isn't where you make your money right here. You're going to make your money once you hear your name called on April 28th through the 30th. So if you're Karl Joseph, no need to push the envelope now. Wait until you're drafted and then start going through all of those things. Look, the tape speaks for itself. Teams should know what they're getting because ACL injuries, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Look, those things are the thing of the past. You tear your ACL, with modern science and technology, you should be back better than ever. Almost like Tommy John surgery in baseball. You don't want to do it too many times, but if you tear your ACL, it's not the end of the world. You rehab and you come back and you should be just like you were before, if not better than you were before. So I'm not worried about his injury, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. The guy is an explosive athlete. He's very fluid on the football field. Sideline to sideline range is the next pro. He's a guy that can range. And this isn't limited to back half of the field as a free safety. He's sideline to sideline when he's in the box. He's a guy that can chase down ball carriers from sideline to sideline. And then you can apply that in the back half of the field, 30, 40, 50 yards down the field. The best play that you have to explain why he's a sideline to sideline range type of athlete, Oklahoma. Middle of the field, single half free safety, ball is thrown up over the top on the left outside hash of the field towards the sideline. Karl Joseph ranges all the way from the middle of the field all the way to the outside sideline and devours a receiver, dislodges the football from the Oklahoma receiver in a beautiful textbook hit. That's how you draw it up. He ranged all the way from center field all the way to the sideline, destroyed the receiver, ran through him, ball is dislodged, incomplete. That's how you do it at the safety position. That's what each and every single GM around the league is looking for, plays like that one on tape. And to me, that is the personification of what sideline to sideline range is all about if you're talking about a guy playing the free safety position. Tremendous closing speed. Okay, and I just talked about showing some of that closing speed there. He shows it around the line of scrimmage. He even shows it when he's breaking on footballs in coverage. I mean, the closing speed is ever present when you watch Karl Joseph on tape. And so I really don't have to go into that very much more. He's a guy that closes on the football, whether it's in the air or it's with a ball carrier. He closes tremendously when he's on the football field. Heat seeking missile, okay? HSM, as I like to call it. He's the HSMer. You gotta watch out because you can get friendly fire when you got a heat-seeking missile. Remember, heat-seeking missiles just track heat. Okay, so it doesn't really differentiate between friendly or enemy. I'm just moving off of heat. If you moving, you can get it too. Okay, so he's one of those guys that flies to the football. Sometimes he's gonna take a teammate or two out, but he's always looking to lay the lumber. He's a very physical, aggressive tackler. So he's a heat-seeking missile, so that's another pro for Karl Joseph. But to me, what separates him from all the other safeties in the draft, including Jalen Ramsey, is his interchangeable versatility. And not to say that Jalen Ramsey doesn't have this, I'm not as confident in Jalen Ramsey coming up and being a force as a strong safety in the box. Okay, to me, he's got more of a safety frame to be back part of the defense as a free safety. And he's a guy that likes to blitz and you know, drop over the slot. But I'm not sure Jalen Ramsey's trying to take on a blocker and you know, stack and shed a blocker, discard him and get to the ball carrier. So I'm not sure if that's how Jalen Ramsey is wired nor built. Whereas with Karl Joseph, you see it. He's a guy that can come down in the box, be aggressive, be a hitter, be a guy that can chase plays down, be very instinctive, get to the football, tackle a guy in the backfield, cut a guy down, take on a blocker, blow up a blocker if necessary, may not make the play, but he'll allow someone else to make the play. And then be a guy that is just as good, if not better, the back half of the defense. He can drop over the slot, which is the next pro. And to me, if you want evidence of him dropping over the slot and showing the versatility as a free safety, because I think everybody knows about his strong safety ability. Everybody knows he will come up and he will hit you in your mouth as a strong safety down in the box. What I don't think a lot of people know about Karl Joseph is the versatility to be a free safety and drop over the slot. He has honey badger-like qualities when dropped over the slot. Look at the Georgia Southern game, okay? 4 interceptions. Yes, I did not stutter. 4 picks in one game. That's a college career for some guys. 4 picks in one game versus Georgia Southern. And that Oklahoma tape, they lose that ball game, but I'm telling you right now, Karl Joseph was a standout in that football game. So if you want to see him against lesser competition and dominate, turn on the Georgia Southern tape. You want to see him dominate against elite competition, put on the Oklahoma tape. He can do it against all types of competition. He played over the slot in that game, played very well. And so this is a guy that to me just can do it all. makes plays on the football, route recognition, and great hands are the next three pros, and they all go hand in hand because if you got great route recognition, that allows you to make plays on the football. If you got great hands, you're gonna pick that football off when you get the opportunity. And Karl Joseph is a guy that if you give him an opportunity, you make a mistake, you pay for that mistake. Some of these guys at safety, they don't have great hands, and so you see it. They get opportunities to change the game with an interception and flip field position, and they don't do it. So this is a guy in Karl Joseph that I feel like can do a lot of things for you at the safety position, and I'm very excited about the prospects of him coming to the next level. If healthy, I think Karl Joseph is the best safety in this draft. You go to him blitzing. Another one of these things that, a lot of teams don't use corner blitzes as often, don't use safety blitzes as often, but when they do, they can be very effective. Karl Joseph is a guy that can blitz, and that's another pro for him. And you get special teams value as well with Karl Joseph. So anytime you draft a guy in the first round, you draft a defensive player, you're looking for him to come in and provide you with some special teams help as well, and Karl Joseph can do that. And so whether you got him on your kickoff team or you got him on punt coverage, Karl Joseph is going to be a guy that can deliver for you on special teams as well. You look at his cons, I only got one for you, man. Really, there's not much here to pick at. His ACL injury. He tore his ACL in October, and so you look at him, he should be ready for training camp whenever he is selected, because you're talking about August, or training camp will be in July for most teams, but you really won't start getting into the meat and potatoes of your training camp until August. He tore it in October, so you're talking about almost a full year of rehab and a chance for him to, pretty much prepare himself for this moment. So I think he should be ready for camp when camp rolls around. Even if he's not, I don't think he's the guy that necessarily needs to go on the pup list. I think he'll be ready when the season rolls around. So I feel confident that Karl Joseph is a guy that you can draft, feel good about, and by the time camp rolls around, you'll get your first look at your product, Karl Joseph, and I think someone's going to be extremely happy with the football player that they get, because if you ask me, you're talking about a complete safety, a guy that can play 40 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, but also come up to the line of scrimmage and be a force at the line of scrimmage. You're talking about Karl Joseph, can drop over the slot, can do anything you need him to do on the football field as a safety. I think Karl Joseph is that guy in this draft, if you ask me. So that's Karl Joseph and his draft prospects 101 breakdown. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. Come back and join me. Man, I got more players to break down. We're in overtime, and I got more players to break down. So won't you come on back and join me on the Draft Prospects 101 Breakdown series. There's plenty more where that came from. While you're here, subscribe to the channel. If you want more Louie Tee, be sure to follow me on Twitter at @InTheLabRoom, or you can like the Facebook page at In the Lab Room. That's In the Lab Room on Facebook and at In the Lab Room on Twitter. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so.